Okay, well, the picks are coming out a little later than I wanted to. I've been swamped with labs for class this week, so that's been most of my days focusing on that because I got to try to get it in by tomorrow. So, getting this out, kind of late, but whatever. It's out on Thursday, which is fine with me. So, tomorrow night, Green Bay heads to San Francisco, and we are basically playing the practice squad. uh, Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt last Sunday. George Kittle got hurt last Sunday. Is it George Kittle's? No, Jimmy Garoppolo's out indefinitely. George Kittle's out 8 weeks. Raheem Mostert is still out for another month, I believe. They just had like 7 other players that were injured. They had COVID tests. Well, Packers and San Francisco both had COVID tests. San Francisco had one today, and they shut down their facilities today. But as far as we know, the game is still scheduled for tomorrow. If it were to get rescheduled, I would not mind seeing a Tuesday football again. I kind of like that, honestly. I do. So, I mean, if they reschedule it, I would love to see Tuesday football again. Otherwise, it's probably going to be like a Monday or something like that. I don't even know. But I am picking Green Bay. Our run defense scares the crap out of me, even though they don't have Raheem Mostert this time. And again, they're basically playing with their backup squad or practice squad. They have like no one left, but I'm still nervous for this team. So we'll see what happens. Next, Giants head to Washington. Wow, what a Monday night game that was 2 days ago. I've never seen Tom Brady look so bad, and I've never seen the Giants look so good. In the past couple of years. I think it should have been PI. I don't think he turned his head towards the ball until he literally hit the guy. But Daniel Jones also did kind of throw it a little late, too. But, again, I think that game should have gone into overtime. If Tampa still won, it is what it is. But I think they should have at least let it go into overtime. But what you're gonna do? So Giants lost, but I think Washington is gonna win. Who's in? They're in second. That's right, because Dallas is in third. We'll talk about them later. But I think Washington's going to secure the victory here, and I think they are going to be gunning for that number one spot in the NFC East, which means we could have a game in Washington in the playoffs if they can beat the Eagles. So that's going to be something. Then Chicago heads to Tennessee. Whew. Both teams lost. Tennessee got embarrassed. They had a couple people out, and the Bengals just walked all over them. I think they score like 35 points or something. I don't remember exactly, but a lot of points were scored on the Titans. And the Bears took the Saints into OT, and they lost to OT against the Saints. I think the hungrier team here is going to be Tennessee because now, the Colts are tied with Tennessee for the number one spot in the AFC South. So I think the hungrier team is going to be Tennessee. They're going to come out swinging. I think they're going to be a little healthier than last week. We'll see. And I think they're going to beat the Bears. So then Detroit heads to Minnesota. I don't know what to call Detroit. They look good sometimes. They don't look good other times. It's back and forth. I don't know what to think about them. Minnesota obviously just coming off of a big win, beating the Packers. We're really Dalvin Cook beat the Packers. And so I think this is going to be, Dalvin Cook's game again. I think he's going to, just start taking over the game. And I think the Vikings are going to beat the Detroit Lions. But I think this is going to be, 38-35 game. I think it's going to be kind of high scoring. So Next, Carolina heads to Kansas City. I don't even know what to say here. Carolina lost to the Falcons, and Kansas City played the Jets. So, I mean, Kansas City should win this one easily by 20. I don't believe in the Panthers at all. I don't. They just are mediocre. They're mid-tier at best right now. I think right now as it stands, they're like number 10 in the draft or something like that. So, there's always time to think. Then Houston heads to Jacksonville. The end of Minshew Mania. He hurt himself, and I don't know if he's going to be coming back. Depends on how good this backup plays. So we'll see. But I think Houston is going to come out. I think they have a better team on paper, so I think they're going to win. Because I don't trust that Jags defense, really. That's the main point. Then Baltimore heads to Indy. Low-key, this could be a really defensive game. This could be a tight game. It really could be low-key. But my gut tells me, Baltimore's going to win by 10-14. They took the Steelers down to the wire, and literally the last seconds of the game lost to the Steelers because Lamar Jackson threw into double coverage. So I think, Baltimore's going to win, but I think this could be a game to watch. I think this could be a really interesting game this week. Then Seattle heads to Buffalo. This could be a really interesting game, too, because it's two pretty good offenses. Obviously, Seattle's is, high power offense and, bailing out that defense. And then Buffalo, again, they have weapons on offense and they just have a hard time stopping people on defense, the same as the Seahawks. So I'm going with Seattle, but I think this could be, a shootout. I really do. I think this could be, back and forth shootout. Last team with the ball is going to win this. Because they're going to go down the field and score either a touchdown or field goal, whatever is needed. I think it's going to happen, but we'll see. But Seattle's my pick for now. Then Denver heads to Atlanta. Drew Lock looked pretty good last week against the Chargers. And the Chargers blew yet another lead. They set a record, actually, of 16-plus points lead and losing 4 games. So I think Denver, looked decent out there last Sunday, and I think they will be able to not really upset, but I think they will be able to beat Atlanta, who is really struggling this year, just like the past couple of years. Then the Raiders head to the Chargers, a battle for second place in the AFC West. Winner here, what am I saying? Chargers are just, not looking good at all. Like, they have a bright future, but right now they're not looking good. So I'm picking the Raiders here to beat the Chargers. But I think, if the Chargers can somehow rebound the second half of the season, I think they have a chance of making the playoffs. But right now, I think I'd give the second spot and a chance at the playoffs to the Raiders. These two games could be extremely helpful to have a W here going in later this season and, getting some dubs later this season too. So then we're going with a lot of away teams this week. Pittsburgh heads to Dallas. I'm not going to touch upon this a lot. Pittsburgh, the best team in the NFL, hands down. Better than the Chiefs, better than the Seahawks, better than the Ravens. They just proved that last week. Steelers are the most complete team and dominant team I want to say I've seen for a couple of years. I think of the 2000s Ravens. I don't think they're quite that dominant, but like a team to kind of compare them to is them. So they're really good. I'm not saying they're like one of the best teams ever. I'm saying they're dominant. I think they've had a pick six in like the last 3 or 4 games or something. So their defense is stepping up. Chase Claypool is amazing. And then, on the flip side, we have Dallas, who sucks. Absolutely terrible. This is like they're just they're probably the third worst team in the NFL right now. So Pittsburgh's gonna walk all over Dallas in Dallas, and they're gonna make Jerry World their world. So it's gonna be a bloodbath. Then this game is gonna be really interesting too. Miami heads to Arizona. I was thinking about this for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, Arizona, pretty good offense, defense is solid. Miami Dolphins, decent defense, and they have some studs on offense. Obviously, Tua is really helping out that team, and this they're looking good. Miami's looking good. They're sitting second in the AFC. I almost just said North. AFC East. Right now, and they are. I think if the playoffs started today or whatever, they're like the 5th seed or whatever in the NFL. So I think they have a shot of maybe not beating the Bills for that number 1 seed, but I think they have a shot of getting to the playoffs. I think they really do. So I'm gonna pick Miami this time. I think this is the first time I've ever picked Miami this year. So don't let me down. Don't let me down, please. Then moving on. This is, I think, the Fox game of the week. Oh, no, wait. This is Sunday night. Never mind. This is Sunday night. So down in Tampa. New Orleans heads to Tampa. Tampa lost week 1 against New Orleans. And they should have lost. Well, I mean, okay. I don't want to say they should have lost. It should have been an OT game against the Giants. Their defense got exposed by one of the worst teams in the NFL. In the NFL, they got exposed. Their defense got exposed. Tom Brady looked terrible against them. So I think, Saints are going to sweep them. Saints are on a hot streak. They have 4 wins in a row so far. They're leading their division. If they beat Tampa tonight, I think this cements them as the best team in the NFC South. I think this is going to help boost them to claim that number 1 spot in the NFC South and, get a top 4 seed in the playoffs for down the line. So this is going to be a good matchup. I do have the Saints winning this one. I mean, just frankly, because just off of how Tampa played last week. Like, they just did not look good. They didn't look like that super-powered team that, everyone wants them to be. Yes, they're getting A-B this week, but I think that Saints defense and Alvin Kamara are going to run all over. Tom Brady's probably going to throw a pick, maybe even a pick 6. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. And then, Alvin Kamara is just going to run all over him. I think he's probably top 5 back in the NFL right now. Then we have a terrible, really bad Monday night game. Patriots head to the Jets, and both teams are struggling. Both teams are coming off a loss. This should be New England's game to win, but I mean, Cam Newton's been playing terrible. He was it since coming back from COVID, I don't think he has a single touchdown. So they went from almost beating Seattle to sucking really bad in the span of a couple weeks. All because, lost Cam Newton to COVID, came back, and then he just, did not look as good as he did before. So, New England should win this. It's the Jets. Jets are the worst team in the NFL. That really sums it up. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I'm going to quickly upload this tonight. We'll be back tomorrow I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to preview the Packers game, and we're going to talk about the defense and whatnot. That is what this week's video is going to be about. Friday, I have an announcement to make for the channel. So stay tuned for that. Saturday and Sunday are still up in the air. I don't know if I'm going to stream. I might stream tomorrow because, again, it's the only game on. So, maybe we'll actually get some viewers tomorrow. But we'll see what happens for this weekend. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to stream any games. Just not, too many interesting games to stream this week. So, for now, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Like the video, share the video around, subscribe, and we are out of here. Peace.